Tell me, how well do you know the most intimate parts of yourself? You know, the parts down there. Do you know what they're even called, where they're located, or how they experience pleasure? Well, I'm here to tell you that ignorance is not bliss. There is so little we've been taught about our sexual anatomy. And then we begin to experience the changes of perimenopause or menopause and are forced to confront our internalized shame, silencing, and ignorance about this amazing part of our bodies. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about how getting to know our vulvas can empower us both in the bedroom and in the doctor's office. We'll explore the beauty of this part of our body through the lens of Eastern traditional wisdom and provide practical tips on how to care for your vulva, especially during menopause. Hello and welcome to Pleasure in the Pause. I am your host, women's health and sexual wellness coach, Gabriella Espinosa. Today, we're diving into a topic that's often shrouded in silence and shame, our sexual wellness. This information I'm going to share with you is for education only. I'm not a doctor, but as you know, I've spoken to many doctors here on the podcast, and you should talk to your doctor as well about any questions that are raised as a result of this information I'm sharing with you. When I went into perimenopause and began to experience so much disconnect, numbness, and pain down there, I had no language or understanding to describe what was happening to my doctor or my husband. And while this part of my body had given me tremendous pleasure and birthed my beautiful children, I felt so much shame talking about or even looking at this part of my body. The truth is, the more we know about our bodies, the better we can advocate for ourselves, both in the bedroom and in the doctor's office. And this includes getting to know the most intimate part of ourselves, our vulvas. If you are a Gen Xer like me, you were probably taught very little about your female anatomy beyond periods, how to make or not make babies, or avoiding sexually transmitted diseases. The space between our legs has traditionally been shamed and seen as taboo, which can lead to a deep disconnect from this part of our bodies. Do you know that in Eastern traditional wisdom, the yogis have a beautiful Sanskrit word for the female genitalia, yoni? This word is inclusive of our womb space or uterus, vaginal canal, and vulva, and considers the yoni sacred, the source of life, which is to be revered. I love this perspective because it allows us to connect to this part of our bodies from a place of appreciation and reverence. However, it's not until we begin to go through menopause and experience changes to our vulvas that we realize how little we know about this amazing part of our bodies. During the menopause transition, declining estrogen levels can affect the collagen and elasticity of the vulva, leading to symptoms like thinning, dryness, burning, pain during intercourse, or recurring urinary tract infections. This cluster of symptoms is known as genitourinary syndrome of menopause, or GSM. Many women suffer in silence, believing that menopause signals the end of sexual pleasure. But the truth is, when we embrace our sexual wellness as essential self-care, midlife can become an exciting new chapter in our lives, whether we are solo or partnered. You've heard it before here on Pleasure in the Pause. Consider your vulva a garden. Like any garden, it requires proper care, nourishment, and attention to thrive. So what can you do to ensure your garden continues to flourish throughout your life? Knowledge is power. So first, learn about your sexual anatomy. This is something we're not taught in school. So many of us arrive to midlife with little understanding of the world between our legs until something starts going wrong. Understand that the vulva anatomy includes the mons pubis, the clitoris, the labia, the outer labia, the urethra, the vestibule or vaginal opening, the perineum, and the anus. Knowing these parts helps you understand your body better and recognize when something changes. And just as important, get to know your vulva. No one will know it better than you. Have a good look in the mirror to understand what your normal is. Pay attention to any changes in color or texture and report these to your doctor. Hormones are nutrients for your vulva. As you navigate menopause, one of the most common and often distressing symptoms is vaginal dryness, burning, or pain during intimacy. This occurs due to the decline in estrogen levels, which affects the natural lubrication and elasticity of the vaginal tissues and contributes to the cluster of symptoms known as GSM. Discuss the use of localized hormone therapy with your healthcare provider. This can include vaginal estrogen, which is considered the gold standard, testosterone, or DHEA, all of which have been proven safe and effective for vulval and vaginal use. Hydration, hydration, hydration. You hydrate the skin on your face. Why wouldn't you do the same for your vulva? Using a vulvar moisturizer in addition to hormonal nutrients helps keep the tissue hydrated, especially if you're experiencing dryness. Vaginal moisturizers are not the same as vaginal estrogen. They are meant to be used in conjunction with vaginal estrogen and are designed to provide long-lasting hydration to the vaginal and vulvar tissues, unlike lubricants, which are typically used for short-term relief and pleasure during sexual activity. By incorporating a moisturizer into your daily routine, you can maintain the health and comfort of your vulvar and vaginal tissues, making intimacy more enjoyable and reducing the risk of irritation or injury. When choosing a vaginal moisturizer, it's important to select one that is free of parabens, perfumes, and other potential irritants. One ingredient that stands out for its effectiveness in hydrating and rejuvenating the tissue is hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a naturally occurring substance in the body known for its incredible ability to retain moisture. It's found in high concentrations in the skin, connective tissue, eyes, playing a critical role in maintaining hydration and elasticity. Pelvic floor physical therapy. Strengthening your pelvic floor muscles can significantly improve sexual function and pleasure. The pelvic floor, we know, is a group of muscles that support your bladder, bowels, and uterus. These muscles play a crucial role in sexual function, including arousal, orgasm, and overall sexual satisfaction. During menopause, hormonal changes can weaken the pelvic floor muscles, leading to embarrassing issues such as urinary incontinence, pelvic organ prolapse, and decreased sexual sensation. Pelvic floor physical therapy involves exercises and techniques designed to strengthen and relax these muscles, enhancing their function and resilience. Vulva pleasure. Give yourself permission to explore your vulva purely for pleasure. Establishing a self-pleasure practice can be incredibly healing, energizing, empowering, and nourishing. Discover where you experience heightened sensitivity through gentle self-touch, massage, or using a vibrator. Play with different pressures, speeds, and strokes, and take your time and be curious. Communication is key. Open up a dialogue with your partner about the changes you're experiencing. Menopause brings about significant physical and emotional shifts that can impact your sexual relationship. It's crucial to keep the lines of communication open and honest, fostering understanding and intimacy. First, approach the conversation with empathy and patience. Understand that your partner might not be aware of the changes you're going through. Begin by sharing how menopause has affected your body and emotions. Explain that these changes are natural and that you want to navigate this journey together, and have support. Be specific about what you need during intimacy. For example, you might need more time for arousal, gentler touch, or different types of stimulation. Express these needs clearly and lovingly. You could say something like, I've noticed that my body needs more time to get aroused now. It would really help if we could take things slower and focus on gentle touch. Encourage your partner to ask questions and share their feelings as well. This creates a two-way dialogue where both of you feel heard and understood. It's also important to reassure your partner that your desire for them hasn't diminished, but that the way you experience pleasure is evolving. It's also helpful to explore new ways of connecting intimately. This might include experimenting with different forms of touch, taking penetration off the table, or incorporating tools like lubricants or vibrators. Make it a journey of mutual discovery where both of you can explore what feels good and pleasurable. Ultimately, open and honest communication strengthens your relationship, fostering deeper intimacy and a more fulfilling sexual connection. By sharing your experiences and needs, you create a supportive and loving environment where both partners feel valued and cherished. Finally, all vulvas are unique and beautiful, so please don't judge or compare yours to an idealized version that you may have seen in the movies or in the media. Nurturing your vulva garden is an act of self-love and an essential part of your health and well-being, especially as you navigate the changes of menopause. With proper care and attention, your garden can continue to bloom, offering you a lifetime of pleasure and delight. Remember, the journey to sexual wellness is deeply personal and transformative. Embrace it with curiosity, compassion, and a sense of reverence for the incredible power and beauty of your body. If you would like to show yourself some love and establish a shame-free way of connecting to this beautiful part of your anatomy, then click the link below and download my free Vulva Love Meditation. Remember, sexual wellness is self-care. Thank you for joining me today on Pleasure in the Pause. I hope this episode has inspired you to explore and nurture your sexual wellness. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with friends who might benefit from this information. Until next time, remember that your pleasure and sexual wellness matter. Take care and keep blooming.